Well, Baba Tando is here with me, and she's our topmost lady when it comes to sports. And we'll have to take a look at, well, what has happened during the year. And for many of you, you have a lot more on your mind than even myself. How are you?
Of course, I know. I'm good. Well,
okay.
Good morning.
Topmost issue we have to talk about.
All right. So let me start this way so that it will be very easy for me. So the beginning of this year actually saw the preparation for Brazil 2014. It also saw the preparation for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, and then the other things. I mean, the other sporting activities followed within the year. So I know. Let me start with Brazil because that's the biggest.
But let's start with the preparations.
Yes, the preparations. I mean, we saw the qualifications. I mean, we qualified late last year, and then everything else was left for committees and other, interested bodies to,
to undertake.
So we saw the sports minister Alvis Efi Ankara putting together certain committees that consisted about 72 people. More or less, yeah, 72 people, security, blah, blah, blah. I'm not ready to go through. I mean, we can't go through all the committees, but I mean, basically, they were all put in place to ensure that the Black Stars go to Brazil.
Were you on one?
Oh, no. I wasn't on any of the committees. I didn't go to Brazil because, no, I wouldn't say because I was pregnant then, but I mean, even if I wasn't pregnant, I'm not sure it was going to happen anyway. So, we saw the preps for Brazil, and then, the long and short of the story is that we got to Brazil. We couldn't maintain our pedigree when it comes to FIFA World Cups, and so we got in there, lost our first game to the USA, drew with Germany, and all we needed was a win against Portugal, but it didn't happen. We lost to Portugal. Of course, that match, the only thing I remember is that Fatah Dada was so happy when he saved an on-target goal from shot from Cristiano Ronaldo. That was all I remember about that game, but eventually we lost. And so, I mean, we just got through to the group stage, and then we lost that. And of course, you may kiss the $100,000 appearance fee.
Okay, so now, if we're talking about the preparations, what didn't we get right?
Well,
because prior to heading to Brazil, there was all the talk about what we'll go and do.
Definitely.
How we'll get to the semi-final and the final and win the cup.
The reason...
The friendly matches we played at.
Yeah, we played friendly matches. We did everything that we were supposed to do as a country preparing for a World Cup. But the only minors, according to the players and technical team and the Black Stars Management Committee members, then who went with the team, they said that, okay, things didn't go right for us because certain people failed to deliver on their promise. And then again, the question of sacrifice for the nation comes in. But the players said, okay, we were promised that we were going to get our appearance fee before a certain date. And it didn't come. And actually, it was during the game against Germany, that was when the money was airlifted from Ghana to Brazil. And then whilst the game was going on in Germany, everybody had $100,000 in their lockers at the dressing room of that stadium. So, I mean... everything for me went okay with the preparations.
With the exception of the issue of our money.
Exactly, that was our minus.
But that was the triggering point as well.
Exactly.
Why should money become an issue when it comes to the
national
team?
Roland, for that one, I will not be in the best position to explain. That's why earlier on in the submission, I said, then again, the story or the question about sacrifice would also come in because you would wonder why people would want to wear. I mean, gone are those days when wearing the national jersey alone was enough pride for players. But these days, I mean, everything is changing. So, I mean, they want to see their monies first before anything else goes on. But I won't say it's the best. But, well, it's happened. We sweep it under the carpet. All right, so let me move away from the Brazil because, I mean, it's a whole story on its own.
I have one or two other questions to ask you. Having known you for some time, I know you always interact with the players. And did you know firsthand, even before the problems started coming in, because there were speculations by youth sports journals, did you know that...
Speculations that...
Well, there were problems in camp because of money issues. It was being speculated, but it was being denied by officials.
Those problems
did you personally know firsthand?
I knew... I had one or two clues, yes. But those problems actually escalated when they got to Brazil. Yes. We want to see the money before we play our first game against the USA. The minister says, okay, don't worry, you go. The money will come by the time you're done with your game against the USA. Okay, USA game is done. Okay, don't worry, you get it before Germany. Germany game is on. President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, calls and speaks to the players and says, look, everything will be sorted out, but nothing happens. And then, okay, lo and behold, just before the game against Germany, they say, okay, your money has arrived, is in the locker room. I mean, everybody took theirs, put them in the lockers, and then they went to play. So, I mean...
So give us the highlights.
All right, so the highlights, okay, so after Brazil, there was a commission that's done with its work with all the investigations.
Forget about that,
yes, so the recommendations, I understand, are ready. Let's see if they will be implemented. I mean, basically, I'm told that the commission doesn't have any powers to, you know, do certain things. So let's see if the recommendations will be done. Okay, so then we got to the preparations for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. We went to Glasgow. We had 2 bronze medals. The whole Ghana contingent that went, took 2 bronze medals and came home. All right, then
that's the Commonwealth Games.
The Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Okay, so very unfortunate for us there as a country. It was quite disgraceful. But we went to the Nanjing Games, and then Martha Bisa won gold for the long distance. That was also a plus for us. And then, of course, we saw boxing, the Aite Pies Bukumbanku headliner. That was the biggest for boxing, if you ask me, for this year. All right, and then we also go on, and the second half of the year after Brazil, we saw a change in the sports ministry. The sports minister and his then sports minister, Elvis Ifiankra, and Yamin, they were both...
That's the deputy.
That was his deputy. They were both changed, and so now Mahama Yariga has become the new sports minister. Of course, we know that. And then also getting to the latter part of this year, we got some unfortunate news about the demise of the sports authorities PRO, Hama Hamid Isaka. He died, and that was quite a low blow for us. And I'm told that a replacement is yet to be put in place for him. Also, getting to the latter part of the stage of this year, everybody in Ghana experienced it, the Dumso crisis.
It also affected sports?
Oh, it did. It so did that as we speak, the national stadium, Accra Sports Stadium, has been disconnected for accumulated bills. The Kumasi Babayara Sports Stadium has also been disconnected. The Isipon Stadium... So
when they are against, what did they use gensets?
Well, they have to play their games during the day without PA systems. So, I mean, it's just dry like that. So, the league is going to start on 7th of January. I don't know how we're going to go about this, but this is what's happening. The three of the national stadia, Accra, Kumasi, and Isipon, are without electricity as we speak. I don't know if the issues have been rectified, but I know the NDC had their congress at the Babayara Sports Stadium, and I'm sure there was electricity there. I don't know if after the congress there's still electricity there, though, but that's the story to tell. And another major blow for sports, I mean, it's been there over the years. It's funding for what we call now lease finance sports. There is absolutely no money for them. I mean, you heard a couple of them when they came to the commission into the 2014 Brazil inquiry. I mean,
you mean like
weightlifting,
physically challenged sports,
physically challenged,
hockey, etc.
We put them together and call them the lease finance sports. No funding, so that the amputee team of Ghana, the Black Challenge that had to go for a World Cup in Mexico, arrived
they won medals.
They arrived 3 days after the tournament had started. They arrived on a day when their group had already played some matches, and so they didn't take part in the World Cup. But because they were scared of being banned and fined, in fact, the money they were going to be made to pay as a fine was going to be far more than what they needed to go to Mexico. So they had to make an appearance anyway. And so this is what happened. Friendly matches were arranged for them. And guess what? They beat all the countries that they were playing against in the friendly games.
And those countries were participating?
Mexico were the host country. They beat Mexico 9-0. They beat Japan, who were also part of the World Cup. They were causing problems for almost everybody. They beat them, I think, 6-0 or so. So imagine if they had gone there earlier and took part in this World Cup. I'm sure we would have had some world champions by now. But it didn't happen. Something that dented football again in this country this year was the legal tussle between King Faisal and the Ghana Football Association.
And that has resulted, that resulted
in the delay of the start of the new season. But thankfully,
it's been resolved?
It hasn't been resolved fully, but the court has removed the injunction. So the GFA will go to Congress on 30th of this month, and then hopefully everything will be sorted out.
So what happens to King Faisal's concern?
Well, so King Faisal will play in Division 1 in the meantime. So when the court finally sits on the case and delivers its verdict, then it means that if King Faisal is winning their case, then they will be reinstated into the Premier League automatically. But otherwise...
And replace which team?
Well, I don't really know. So we would have to wait.
It's an interesting issue when it comes to Ghana sports.
Exactly. But positive for Ghana sports, for the league again. Unfortunately, we got, fortunately for us, we got sponsors, headline sponsors. The First Capital Plus Bank, they sponsored the league, and then we also got Super Sports. But just when things were beginning to get okay, then the party poopers or a wet blanket was pulled over the whole thing with the King Faisal GFA legal tussle. So, Roland, I mean, basically, those are a few of the highlights of the...
One thing you didn't list, though, Azuma Nelson launched his...
he launched his book, and he was also made the all-time boxing great of the WBC. Yes, exactly. I mean, he did one here in Ghana, and did and launched again also in the USA. That was when he was actually named WBC's all-time boxing great. So, I mean, positive for Ghana boxing. I'm sure that...
I used to stay up...
and watch his fights, right?
Yes, many of us.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get to because I was very young by then.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean I'm too much of a little girl.
Were you born by then?
Yes, I was born, but I was too little to be watching. My grandfather was a boxer, so I had interest in that.
When we were watching Azuma Nelson, you were born?
Oh,
say the truth. Okay,
a
year by this time, a year ago, do you remember how this date is critical?
To me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
You forgot?
Oh, no, I did. A year by this time, I was getting ready. I think by this time, what's the time? I was already in my wedding gown.
Yeah.
I was getting my makeup.
It was your... So today's your wedding anniversary.
Yes, 1 year wedding
we have
anniversary.
To say congratulations to you and your husband.
Roland, aren't you sweet?
And your husband, Kofi. And we said, Kofi is my good friend. I want his watch, though. You're wearing the watch.
Roland, did you have to announce that I'm wearing my husband's watch on air?
Yeah.
Really?
And you're wearing the watch, and I want that watch, so... Kofi, please get me the watch as my present for supporting you. And we'll be changing the pictures of you on the screen.
Who is doing this to me? Oh my word!
Isn't Kofi handsome? And so happy anniversary to you.
Oh, you guys are making me cry.
And when you got married, you decided to change your name from the name that we all know, Rashida Baba
Kadiri. I mean, I was Rashida Baba Kadiri, but I mean, it's just the Rashida that went off, but the Baba stayed. Oh my God, you guys are getting me cry. Oh God.
Yeah.
Really? Did you do this?
And we all love Kofi so much, so. And it's from the whole crew, from Mama V, myself, Fred, Dennis, Patricia Gasu, the second Patricia from Dockers, from JJA, Jennifer Jane,
but today you people have gotten me. Oh my word.
Abla D'Souza, because I know one person who will cry is Abla. And me too, I would cry.
Mama V, I don't want to believe you're behind
I would never have cried. And we have all the cameramen here. We have Isaac Kameko, we have Martha, we have Emma Morrison, we have Curtis Howard, we have everybody. And so we say congratulations to you. Oh, you're tearing. Yeah, I think I should wait. I also need to find an emotional point.
Nobody has gotten me
life
to come down this way. I mean, I haven't been this emotional in my whole life.
Oh, geez. All right, so that'll be it for now. We've been looking at the sports, a review of the sports for the year, and Baba, in her usual talkative self, giving us the update, and she's tearing. Happy anniversary to you, Baba. All right, so Kofi, you also happy anniversary, Kofi Tando. Now we're taking a break. When we come back, we are going to have a lot more. Uncle White and his crew, they'll be in the studio. You know, they're having a festival of how many plays? 4?
Yeah, they do one play every quarter.
I think it's 5.
Every quarter is one play, so it's 4 quarters, so it's 4 plays.
Yeah, it's 5. This time I'm telling you 5. It's your wedding anniversary. Please let Kofi take you so that you go and watch the plays.
He will take me, definitely. All I need to do is ask.
Okay, please ask. And so we're taking a break. We'll be right back.